everlasting light is shining like the sun. It radiates on everyone. And the more that I give, the more I've got to give. It's the way that I live, it's what I'm living for. Deep inside my heart, I've got this everlasting light is shining like the sun. It radiates on everyone. And the more that I give, the more I've got to give. It's the way that I live, it's what I'm living for. Deep inside my heart, I've got this everlasting light is shining like the sun. It radiates on everyone. And the more that I give, the more I've got to give. It's the way that I live, it's what I'm living for. Deep inside my heart, I've got this everlasting light is shining like the sun. It radiates on everyone. And the more that I give, the more I've got to give. It's the way that I live, it's what I'm living for. Deep inside my heart, I've got this everlasting light is shining like the sun. It radiates on everyone. And the more that I give, the more I've got to give. It's the way that I live, it's what I'm living for. Deep inside my heart, I've got this everlasting light is shining like the sun. It radiates on everyone. And the more that I give, the more I've got to give. It's the way that I live, it's what I'm living for. Deep inside my heart, I've got this everlasting light is shining like the sun. It radiates on everyone. And the more that I give, the more I've got to give. It's the way that I live, it's what I'm living for. Deep inside my heart, I've got this everlasting light is shining like the sun. It radiates on everyone. And the more that I give, the more I've got to give. It's the way that I live, it's what I'm living for.
Well, aloha and good morning, everyone. Well, welcome to Center for Spiritual Living Kauai. As you find your seats, I'll be sharing a little bit about what we've got going on at the center. But first, let's do a round of applause for Maria Christina and all her music. It's always beautiful to have her playing and welcoming us all in. So if you are new here today, my name is Michelle May, and I'm on the Board of Trustees, also part of the Malama team, and I share what's happening here at the center. And there's definitely quite a buzz that's still happening. We have lots of sacred journeyers who are still here from their week-long retreat, which has been fun, and why we were not here last week. If you weren't here at Lidgate, you missed it. You just weren't here. But we had a big celebration to celebrate them, and of course some of them are still here, and we'll be recognizing them later. So directly after service, we have our monthly Women in Consciousness group that meets here in the center, and then the Men's Mindful Treehouse, which meets usually outside in one of the pavilions. So that'll be following pretty shortly after service. We always have some munchies and networking and welcoming and visiting time, and then we'll break out into that. So if you want to stay for that, please join us. We do that every month. And then we do have a really great series that's going to be starting this coming Monday called Playing the Matrix. And that's going to be with Reverend Diane Decker. So I'm actually going to invite Reverend Diane up to share a little bit more about this 3-week series.
Good morning. Aloha. Aloha. Have you guys all signed up yet? Yeah. I know you haven't because you're not on the list. So. And thank you for the yeses. That helps us plan. I am so excited about Playing the Matrix. It's a book by Mike Dooley that I read when it first came out in December. And I thought, I really need to share this material with people. It's so closely aligned with Science of Mind principles and gives a refreshing look at the way we view life in this philosophy. And I hope that you will join me for this. It's 3 Mondays in a row, starting tomorrow from 6 to 8 p.m. The cost for the workshop, if you pay for all 3 weeks in advance, is $50. Or if you think you might be missing a class, which I hope you won't, it's $20 at the door per class. So I hope you'll take advantage of that discount for paying today. There are a few copies in the bookstore of this. You will need it for the class, or get a copy from Amazon. You can get it on Kindle for just $10 if you choose that way. So I hope you'll join us. I really am looking forward to this and spending time with you all, integrating our spiritual principles in a wonderful new way. So mahalo.
Thank you, Diane. And there is a sign-up sheet. We have an information table out back with a sign-up sheet that Diane was referring to for you to sign up for the class. And if you want to pay for it today, you can do so in the bookstore. So next 3 Mondays, come join us. And then we've started a new series a few months ago called the Meet and Greet, the New Thought Meet and Greet. And this Wednesday, it's going to be Reverend Patrick, who's going to be sharing about Napoleon Hill. So if you all know him, he was made famous by Think and Grow Rich, and then everything else that came after that. But he was definitely a New Thought philosopher with lots to share, lots for us to learn from, and then also just take into our lives. So that's going to be Wednesday evening from 6:30 to 8. And that is done by Love Donations. And again, that's going to be Reverend Patrick. He usually does a big yay when I mention anything that he's doing, so I was waiting for that. Oh, you were talking? Oh, got it. And then also this week we have our monthly spiritual cinema, and that's going to be Friday, also starting at 6:30 till about 9. We always do a little discussion afterwards for those who'd like to stay. And the January film is called The 3 Magic Words. And it's a really great film. We showed it years ago, so now it's just we're bringing it back because it's that good. And it's definitely thought-provoking. Like, can 3 magic words change the world? Totally. Do you know what the words are? You'll have to come Friday, 6:30. And popcorn's always included, of course. But it's definitely powerful and another way of looking at how to create magic in our lives. So thank you for all your kind attention, and I'd like to introduce Reverend Rita and Reverend Patrick. Yay!
Mahalo.
Mahalo. Aloha, everyone.
I just wanted to add one thing to that beautiful announcement about on Friday. We're also going to be showing, it's very short, that was actually filmed here. It's a little, I think it's 10 minutes, called Ode to the Honeybees, and it's just spectacular. So we're going to kind of open with that and then go into our movie. Yeah, lots
All
of
right,
stuff.
so welcome to Center for Spiritual Living Kauai. And the first thing we like to do is take a moment for peace.
Yes.
So let's just take a deep breath as we light our peace candle, our large peace candle.
And our peace candle has its
Own table now.
table.
Yeah. And just recognize that peace begins within each and every one of us in our hearts and radiates out into the world from there. So let's just take a moment for peace. And so it is. Okay. So welcome to Center for Spiritual Living Kauai, where we practice the science of mind and spirit that's celebrating its 100th anniversary this year.
Yes.
Yes. We are a new thought philosophy based in the teachings of Ernest Holmes, who was a synthesizer, not a revelator. He called himself a synthesizer, a great mystic, but he took many teachings of the world and found the through line, the truth, which is love, and that divine presence that lives within each of us is who we are in true reality. That's what we are, nothing else but that. And that we can live our life from that place if we practice. And this is a practical philosophy. We use it in our lives. If we can't use it in our lives, it has no meaning at all. So here we are in the earth plane, and we want to be able to take that idea that we are that presence, that God, that light, that love, and bring it into our daily lives. And so that's what we practice here at Center for Spiritual Living Kauai. And for those of you here for the first time, we welcome you.
And we are celebrating, this year is our theme is transformation. We can always stand a little transforming here and there. But before I go into the people that are new, I'd also like to shout out and give some thank yous for this week. This week we had our fifth annual Sacred Journey of Transformation, and I see some journeyers right here in the room, which is so exciting. But there is also a big support team. We work on it all year. So if you were a part of that support in any way for these beautiful journeyers, can you please stand up so we can just acknowledge you and love you and do all that stuff? And though Joyce wanted to jump up, can the journeyers that are still here stand up? I see everything, I hear everything. That's it. There we go. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 journeyers are still here. So here we go.
And these journeyers are from Canada, California, and Oregon. Wow.
Yeah. And Kauai.
Yeah, if you don't know what the Sacred Journey is, and then we've had people on the island be part of that too. And it basically is a week-long journey, retreat if you want to call it that, where we offer a chance for you to come and experience the island, experience our teaching, experience workshops and community, and it's just a wonderful experience. And in this one, everyone, there's some transformation that is received, and just a family,
it was a
family.
Wonderful week.
We've created a family
So
with new people and ones that come back year after year.
Exactly. And so who is here for the very first time? Could you raise your hand? Welcome, welcome. Welcome. And the only reason we say that is because we know something about you. And I know already, we're just meeting, and we know, yes, telepathy, you got it. So what we would like to do is share with you what we know about you. Are you ready? Okay. You are magnificent.
You are
You're welcome.
magnificent.
And we know that about you. Why? Because we know it about ourselves. So shall we all say it together? I am magnificent. And if you'll look kind of around, there's Rob. He looks all official with the little things on his ears and stuff. And yeah. And so there's a camera staring at us. And the reason for that is because what happens at CSL Kauai does not stay at CSL Kauai, because there's people watching us live streaming, and they're just comfortable. And I know that Carrie and Michael are actually because they sent a little notice today. So there's a whole bunch of people. We love you. So let us let them know who they are, shall we? You are magnificent. Look to your left, to your right. Tell somebody who they are, that they're magnificent.
You are magnificent.
Now let's stand up on our feet and just have this magnificent song that will open us up today. I think you know this one.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. No more living in fear. We're gonna let it shine. No more living in fear. We're gonna let it shine. No more living in fear. We're gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
So I take this moment right here and right now, and I breathe into this moment right here and right now, centered in this one place, this one energy, this one source that I call God, that I call good, knowing that it is flowing through me, knowing that it is flowing through each and every person in this room and beyond. Each and every part of creation is that source, is God, that high God, that love, that light, that energy, that thing which sings and sings within each of us, moving out into our experiences. So I know today what I claim is that this service is a place where we get to let it out, where we get to expand into more of that, where we get to have more understanding, more knowing, more experience of good, where we get to experience each other in community and love. I know today is flowing perfectly for each of us, and each of us get exactly what we need today, exactly what we require, and we give exactly what we need and require from moment to moment to moment. So I know it's good and more good, and I give great thanks for the demonstration of my word right here and right now, knowing as I release it into law, it never comes back to me void. For the law says yes to my yes, and I say yes to the good. As we all affirm together, and so it is.
All around the world, I'm gonna let it shine. All around the world, I'm gonna let it shine. All around the world, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, shine.
You awake?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So every few months, we do a new member Sunday, and because we have 2 new members that just joined that are leaving Island, because you can be a member and be off Island too, of our center that we're on our sacred journey. We wanted to celebrate a new member Sunday this Sunday, and we also, and we'll call you up one at a time, but we also wanted to invite up. Well, you'll see when we call you up. And if you don't get up, well then, that's up to you, because you're always the choice.
Always.
All right, so Michelle is going to come. Michelle is our membership coordinator and on our board of trustees, and Reverend Diane is going to lead us in our song when we do that. So let's just let it go. Let it happen.
All right, and feel free to give them lovin's as they come up. And first, we'd like to introduce and bring up Greg Stewart. Yay! We love lots of hugs. And then his beautiful wife, Laura Stewart. Yay! Emma Lendendecker. Yes, you. But you haven't gotten
We
your
know you
rose
weren't
yet.
here last time.
She was surprised.
It was kind of like the Academy Awards.
Okay. And then, okay, yeah. And then what we want to do, they already have their cards, and they're actually founding members, but they never got to go through the ceremony, so we want to invite up Terry and Marilyn Taylor. They've been members since the very beginning, but like I said, they never got to be part of this particular ceremony. So, and Joyce Shoemaker and Sherry Huff. Yeah.
You guys
Yeah,
can
just be
come close
careful
to
of that
us.
speaker. So why don't you come this way? Watch the speaker, please. Terry, yeah, come over this
Everybody
way.
over by the ministers. There we go.
All
there
right.
We go.
So
Yeah,
now
close
this
there.
is all right.
Now we're good.
And we need flowers for these two. And watch that flame, Diane. And Marilyn.
My scarf on fire.
Okay.
Go out in a blaze.
No, we won't do that.
Let it shine, let it shine. I'm here all year.
All right. So just stand there and receive.
Yes.
So we're ready. To
You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of love. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of love. You are the face of love. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of love. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I'll hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God.
Be careful. Take your time. No rushing.
It's guaranteed tears every time.
Yeah.
That's how.
And I didn't actually say it, but being a member is all about a commitment to yourself to be on the spiritual path and a commitment to yourself. And it helps to have a community to be on that spiritual path with and to be accountable to, really, to somebody that can look at you and say, hey, what can I do for you? What's going on? How are you feeling today? What do you need? A place to share. And so these people have decided to do that and to support Center for Spiritual Living and make it their spiritual home and a place where they can do all those things. So thank you for choosing Center for Spiritual Living Kauai.
So when we do this and we look at that camera and the people that are watching us, these are not, and our sister CSL Toronto are here, and this isn't just somebody who visits like your vacationers. You're coming home, your family, and this is your home, just like mom and dad. You go off and do your thing, and then you come back here, and we have the light on for you.
So I think we're ready for our time of meditation. Yeah.
Good morning. So this morning I have a little quote from Yogananda. You are and ever will be a perfect reflection of spirit. You were spirit. Now you imagine yourself to be mortal. But by meditation on your true self and by performing God-reminding actions constantly, you can remember your forgotten spirit nature and remain in that consciousness through all futurity. Since you are immortal, do not burden yourself with earthly limitations. So forget the past. The vanished lives of all men and women are dark with many shames. Human conduct is ever unreliable until man is anchored in the divine. Everything in future will improve if you are making a spiritual effort now. So to take into meditation the words of the beautiful song by Daniel Ahmad. Get ready, my soul, I'm diving in. So let's just take that. Let's take that into meditation and silence, knowing that it is in this silence where we connect to that one power and presence. So just breathe into that space and enjoy your time of connection. it's in this space of this consciousness and this connection that we settle into this service with that knowing that we are one. We are connected. We are unique expressions of this one divine, and yet we are one. One heart, one love, one light, one creator, bringing together everything seen and unseen. That heart that radiates above you, below you, around you, within you. It is your light. It is your love. It is your harmony, your peace, your joy. And so as we come out of this meditation and open our eyes, it makes no difference because we know whether our eyes are open or closed that we are one and that we share in this love and this light. So it is in that space that I claim and know for each and every one of us that this day is indeed a blessing. That we are indeed blessed to gather today together in community with this unique group of souls that have come here to transform, to spread their light, to spread their love, and yet to do it in their unique and special way. For we are all God, all good, but continue to express uniquely and joyfully. So we move into the service with love, with gratitude, and with an open heart in this connection. As we celebrate this day, celebrate transformation, and knowing and claiming that today we say, get ready, my soul, we're diving in. So we release it, we let it go, we let it be, knowing that in the mind of God there is no time, there's no space, there's only now, so it's already done. So let's affirm this truth by saying, and so it is.
We have our chant in the program, if you would like to join us in this.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am. Let it fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes to see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. When I lose myself, when it seems I've lost my way, when I go inside and quiet my mind, I can hear Spirit gently say, there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love.
Mahalo. Mahalo, Maria.
Thank you, Deborah. Deborah is one of our practitioners, just in case you didn't know. Thank you, Maria Christina. And thank you, everyone. So, wow, what a week. Yeah, what a week for all of us, right? Not just the journeyers. Every week is what a week. So, because what I feel is that every week we're transforming. We're transforming in some way every week, every day, every moment. Or we're choosing not to. We're choosing to stay in our old ways or whatever. But still, we can never be lost because eventually we will transform. We have to, because it's who we are. We're in a constant state of spiritual evolution, a constant state of transformation. So today, what we chose to talk about was the idea that it's a choice. And we really notice that when we do these sacred journeys, because we give these people a lot of opportunities to make choices, to make physical choices, to make emotional choices, we always let them know that they're at choice at every moment. And also that they should own their choices instead of just saying, I can't make that choice, or just sitting there quietly and thinking about it or whatever. To actually own that I'm making the choice now not to do this for whatever reason. Like when we walked on fire a couple of months ago, we had the choice to walk or not to walk, but we had to own it. We had to say we choose not to walk and be okay with that. So we can choose not to transform our lives if we want to, or if we don't. If we feel like we need to, something's not working in our lives, we have the choice to make a change. But we can't make a change if we don't change. So I remember hearing something on the internet yesterday, Edwin Gaines saying, what do you need to change about yourself in order to have this thing that you want? What about yourself needs to change? And those things are usually, always, they're not really physical changes, they're consciousness changes. That's all there is, really, is consciousness. So they're consciousness changes. So what about our consciousness do we need to change in order to have the things we want in our life? Because we can't go on with the same state of mind and expect things to be different. So that's what this teaching is all about. It's about offering that space where people get to practice that. A safe place where they can come and be with like-minded people and actually take something that's very practical, because it is very practical, and use it in their lives. But they have to be willing to change. When we were with the Swami at the Hindu temple, Sadasivanatha Swami, he said that the spiritual journey, I might have said this last Sunday, but it's worth saying again, that the spiritual path is a difficult path. And I used to think that was not what I wanted to call it, because it made me feel like I was struggling. And I don't want to struggle in life. I want it to be life to be easy. But I understood what he meant. What he meant was that it's difficult to stay centered in the divine. It's difficult to stay above the world of conditions. It's difficult not to buy into our troubles and all of that and think that they're our reality. It's difficult because we live in a place where everything's shouting at us the opposite of what we want to believe, for the most part, right? And we've really been challenged with that this year and last year with the world. We've been challenged in the world of conditions in a lot of ways, both individually with things, but on the conscious level, we've been challenged. But we still have the opportunity. I believe these challenges are gifts. I believe that last Saturday, when we had that wonderful ballistic missile alert, did you guys hear the song? Yes, check it out. It's really funny. Anyway, I'm trying to figure a way I can just download the MP3 of the song, because it's on YouTube. But it was a gift, right? I said that last week. We had the opportunity to really check in with ourselves consciously to see where we're at. Not to punish ourselves or to say, wow, I can't believe I reacted that way, but to just check in, because I think it was a great gift. And I am so grateful that I had that gift, because what it made me realize is that I met myself that day. And that's what this teaching is all about too. It's about meeting yourself. And I met myself that day, and I saw what I was made of. And that made me really feel good, because it made me feel that all the work that I've done for the past 20 years, or more, all came in that one moment to let me know what I really believed. And sometimes until we're faced with some kind of challenge, we really don't know what we believe, because we can talk a lot of words, right, and say, oh, I would do this in that situation, I would do that. And I can even say now, oh, well, the next time, if it ever happens again, I know exactly what I'm going to do. No, I don't know what I'm going to do, because I don't know what kind of consciousness I'm going to be in the next time, right? So I was grateful for it, because I met myself. And I think every time we're in a situation, we're meeting ourselves. And we have the opportunity to say, we like what we're seeing or feeling, or we don't, and we get a chance to change it. We get a chance to change our perception or reaction to something in every single solitary moment. We might think we're trapped, but we're not. We're never, ever trapped. We have the choice in every moment to decide how we want to perceive something. If we're confronted with an illness or something like that, which many of us are, all have been probably sometime in our life, we have the opportunity to look at that and be with that in the way that we have a choice to look at it in a different way. Or we have the choice to buy into it and suffer more and go forward and just keep focusing on the condition instead of knowing the spiritual truth behind us, ourselves, which we are divine, we are perfect. And we are taught, and I know because I've practiced it, that if we tell ourselves that enough, we will see the transformation. But if we buy back in and keep falling back into the conditions, then we will not. Because something will change. It has to change when we change. And we can't expect somebody else to do it for us. We can't expect the whole world to be perfect before we decide to change. We have to do it ourselves. We have to start right where we are. One alone in consciousness with the infinite constitutes a complete majority, right? It does. We can't expect other people to do it for us. We can't expect to have the right president, the right this, the right that, the right senators, the right whatever. I don't know, whatever we think. The right teachers, the right parents, the right, It's not gonna happen. We do have the right. Whatever it is we have is the right thing. Because it wouldn't be there if it wasn't the right thing. And I think the sooner we get that, and the sooner we move through it and decide that we're in charge of our own lives, like somebody was lamenting to me about something to do with the current situation in our country. And I said, well, we're just being called to be more. We're just being called to help each other. We're being called to be a greater consciousness. We're being called to take responsibility for ourselves and our life and not depend on the outside to make it okay for us. We're being called. We are all being called in every moment to transform our lives. And the question is, will we answer the call? Who in this room? We have to answer the call, right? Thank you. This nice young person right here that's our future, Moen. He says, I'll answer the call. Yeah, thank you, Moen. And then I thought of this other thing, and it's true for me, is this idea of being God. A lot of people have a problem with this idea that we're God. But if we're not God, who is? I don't know about you guys, but I've practiced lots of things, and I've never seen the guy. And I've never... Moses never even saw him either. So, I mean, come on. All right, so... Well, he didn't, did he? He saw a burning bush. I don't know, he heard a voice, but we all hear voices, right? So... Well, I don't know. You don't hear voices, Diane? Okay. So the Swami said a beautiful thing, and this Swami at the Hindu monastery who loves our teaching. In fact, he did like all this research, and he knew more than we did in the moment. He asked me a question. I was like, wait a minute, I don't know about that. But he said that somebody asked him about being God, and he said this: if God is everywhere and I am somewhere, then there. That's putting it pretty simple, right? And I don't know why some of us, I'm not going to say all of us, are afraid to back away from that idea. I think it's because we think like, oh, if we say that, we're somehow, it's so ingrained in our consciousness that we're being like so heretics or something, or I don't know, what was it? Blasphemous, all those things that maybe some of us were taught. But it's not like saying, oh, well, I'm God and all my little peons out here. That's not what it's about. It's that I'm God and you're God and God is, and we're looking at each other and we're a manifestation of God. In fact, the Hindu principle was the universe is a manifestation of God, which is our first principle in the science of mind. So, Ernest Holmes got this stuff from places. He didn't make it up. And there is a universal truth that says that. So, so the thing is, if we can work with that one concept, that I am God, and understand that we're working with an unlimited principle that can create anything and uncreate anything in any moment, because it is the principle of life that lives and breathes through each and every one of us. It lives and breathes through us. It's backing us all the time. There is nothing else that's backing us besides that. If we could get that one thing, and it's not something somebody can teach you. Somebody asked me that, how do I teach somebody to know that? No, I can't teach somebody to know that, because it's a feeling, and it's a feeling that's so true within you that it's right there, and all you have to do is just allow it to come through you, and it does. But it's all the resistance and all that stuff that's happening that's stopping it from doing that. And you know what? Whatever it takes for you to come to that, whatever it takes, if it's some type of special meditation or some type of healing you go to or whatever. But if you're not realizing, if whatever it is you're practicing is not allowing you to center in that place, I don't think you could ever find it, because that's the only place it is. And like I said, I don't know why people are so afraid of it. I think it's because we're so powerful that maybe we're afraid we're just going to explode and go into the ethers somewhere. Maybe we'll, I don't know. Maybe we did last Saturday, like I said last week, and we're just like all sitting on another plane right now. I don't know. But I know that the only thing that matters is the present moment, and I know that in each moment we have a chance to transform our lives. In every single moment, I know and claim that there's nothing impossible for us to transform, whether it's our health or our finances or whatever it is that we want to transform, our relationships, that there's no, if we will take responsibility for where we're at right now and know that's okay that we're where we're at right now, and that we get to start to begin to change our minds about it, have a new perspective, have a new perception of it, and actually start to really register on who we are and work from that place, that there is nothing we can't do. Nothing. And as we recognize it in other people, then the transformation continues. As we recognize it in other people, then we start to look out, like I said about the ocean, we start to see the ocean as the power of God, and has everything it needs to heal itself, has everything it requires, and then we're acting from that place, and everything we do to help the ocean comes from that place instead of a place of condemnation, then we can't help it. We're in a transformation right now. I know it, I claim it, and I'm grateful. I'm so grateful for it. And we send our love to whoever that is, and know that divine right action is right where they are right now. And love infuses that experience. So we have a treatment, spiritual mind treatment in our teaching, but one of the things we say is, and it's a perfect treatment in itself, which is perfect man, woman, perfect God, perfect being. Just those three phrases, perfect God, perfect man, woman, perfect being, will heal any situation that you might find yourself in. Not by trying to manipulate this experience, but by just settling into what that really means. Because the universe is perfect. Ernest Holmes wrote that if the universe wasn't perfect, it couldn't exist for one moment. It could never exist if it was fighting against itself. The universe is perfect. It's a universe of harmony and balance. And everything else is just an experience that we've created somehow. And we get to uncreate and go back to that unity of harmony and balance. But like the Swami said, it takes practice. And it's difficult. Not in the struggle sense, but in a disciplined sense, because we have to be disciplined, no matter what anyone's telling us. So, hey, transformation's a choice. We all have it. The question is, do we accept it? Yes. And so it is.
Please hear me calling out. I've been praying, hoping for you to show me how to realize home, yeah, in the light, the light, the light, the light, the light, the light. See, I've forgotten who I really am. I've been searching, wandering, trying to understand what it means to be home, yeah, in the light, the light, the light, the light, the light, the light. There have been times I felt I was getting close to seeing the bigger picture right now. Maybe that would help the most. If feeling your arms around me helps me to let go. And even though there's so much that I don't know, we've come in love, we've come in peace, we've come to live in harmony. However we've fallen, let's lift each other up, hear each other calling, 'cause we are one, we are one, all living under the same sun. We are one, forgiveness, grace in everyone. How about no more fighting, not 'cause of carrying down? We can listen to each other, there's a treasure to be found. And maybe we realize we're really all the same in a different disguise. And maybe all we want is based on what we've been through and how we see the world and what we feel we need to do. 'Cause it's survival, faith is surrender too. It's a wild journey and I'll keep moving on, trying to hold it together and be strong. And even if we don't know what it will take, let's call forgiveness in and heal every mistake. 'Cause we've come in love, we've come in peace, we've come to live in harmony. However we've fallen, let's lift each other up, hear each other calling, 'cause we are one, we are one, all living under the same sun. We are one, forgiveness, grace in everyone. We are one, all living under the same sun. We are one, forgiveness, grace in everyone. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one.
Ooh. Mahalo. I love that moment in time when you look over at that beautiful lady and I said, I forgot my glasses. but I don't care. I don't care. Actually, I can see it perfectly right now. A healing. I believe that your turn is now over. No. Oh, I got it. But I'll take him just. Wow. Always a nice start. She said, I always go, I feel a healing and I feel 25 font. Wow. Okay. Transparent couple right here for you. So this is a wonderful, wonderful day. What a week. What a week. It's always for the journeyers, but there always is a transformation that happens within us as well. Always. Because you can't guide anything unless you're willing to transform yourself. And so whatever that tends to look like. But I liked what Rita was saying, if I'm not God, who is? I love that because it's the truth. If I'm not, who is? And I was thinking of this week, and it reminds me, I think I said this a couple weeks ago, Ram Dass said, I help people as a way to work on myself, and I work on myself to help people. To me, that is what the emerging game is all about. Once again, good looking at good, God looking at God. But I'm going to just one more time talk about this Saturday, and then we're going to put it to bed. Because a lot of people slept through it. I already talked to you. You say, yeah, I woke up and heard all about it. And it just goes to show you how different we all are, right? Some of us had to meet it or meet ourselves. And I met myself as well. And I was quite pleased with the foundation that, like Rita said, that I had created for myself. Because, as I said last weekend at the celebration, that idea of someone saying, did you think you were going to die? It was impossible for me to think of death because I was so alive. I don't think I have ever been that alive. Present. And we got to share it with, looking over at Laura and Greg and Michelle was there, and we were here in that room, that wonderful kitchen. Well, kind of. Everybody was kind of in and out, and I just stood right there in the middle, and I said, I don't know where everybody is, but I need to pray, man. I need to pray. And I love that idea about God, because if I was still praying to God, he could say no. But I don't say no. I say yes. I say yes. So I am amazed at these 13 words and 3 sentences that will be remembered a lifetime by those who experienced it, and especially by the journeyers. Ballistic missile threat inbound to Hawaii. Seek immediate shelter. By the way, this is not a drill. Actually, that's not what I did. But what I do know about these 13 words and these 3 sentences is that they were transforming. But I took it a little deeper after the shock, of course, a week later. How many ballistic missiles do we send to ourselves on a daily basis? Sit with that one for a minute. How many ballistic missiles are we sending to ourselves, scaring ourselves, threatening ourselves? And it also feeling like it's not a drill. Everything we come up against, it feels like a ballistic missile coming at us when we perceive it that way. And I thought, wow, that's very interesting. And I don't like that feeling. I don't know about you, but I don't like feeling threatened. And I especially don't like threatening myself. When Rita and I came to this island and we started this center, one of our mantras, and we had to repeat it a lot, is, I will not be threatened. I will not be threatened by who comes through the door, who doesn't come through the door, how much you tithe, how much you don't tithe. because I come from something even bigger and more expansive than any of that. It doesn't mean that there's not continual appreciation. But can you imagine living your life, especially when you're creating such a space, that there's a threat that could be taken away from you? And people say, well, we see you on Facebook and happy, happy, happy talk. You look so happy. Everything must be going perfect. Well, it is. It is. I guess you're okay now. Well, yeah, we are. But I mean, if you'd like to see Rita and I doing the budget at the end of the month or at the week and sitting down there going, and you want to see perplexity sometimes, I don't use Facebook for that. Not that anybody else does. I'm just saying. I don't use Facebook. I use Facebook to connect, and I use Facebook to say, this is what we're doing here. And if anyone says, what's going on the island? I just say, go to Facebook, man, because you'll see Patrick telling every little thing we do here, all the changes that we are making. The Hindu monastery this year was very profound for me personally, because we had, through the first year to now, we had established a rapport that was different, and I saw the incredible respect that the Swami has for this teaching and for what we're doing here. And that was really wonderful that we could meet in that kind of consciousness. And he's funny. He's so funny, so I love him even more because he's hysterical. We had a nice picture taken of the three of us, and I told him, I said, this is going to make the perfect Christmas card. I know I was stepping a little bit out there going, how funny really is he, And he looked, and then I've never seen anybody, because he had that moment, but then he lost the control and grabbed my arm and started laughing. He said, are you trying to say Santa Claus? Because he has the beard and his... So there was a lightness of being in the Hindu. But yeah, how many missiles? How many times do we scare ourselves that we buy into the condition that's coming at us? How many times do you get a diagnosis and you're threatened? And it doesn't mean that you can't feel what you're feeling. It just means that somewhere, all the way back to first cause, there's a place to be. A safe place to be, that when something's coming inbound, that you can rest assured that no matter what happens, that I am protected, I am safe, I am loved in every moment. How wonderful to be able to do that. Life is not a drill. It's the real thing. It's happening right here and right now, or maybe not. Or maybe not. He also, the wonderful Swami, who I don't say his full name because I'm not as great with it as Rita would be, and I would, completely ballistic missile his name. So I'm just going to say the Swami, and I love him. But he was talking about Steve Jobs on his, I thought of this morning, that on his last words, on his transition bed, deathbed, call it whatever. It always makes me laugh because my mom, I used to always say transition, and she would say, what is that? Just say die. And I said, whatever. So he talked about Steve Jobs' last words. And then I looked it up just in case he was, I'm just covering my tracks. I had to look it up just to make sure that it was real. But, and it was, and his sister told the story. And Steve Jobs said, in his last breath, he looked at his family, looked at his wife, and I guess the veil was letting itself be known. And he said, oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Wow. What if What if in every moment, whether a ballistic missile's coming at me, or a child is crying, or you can't pay your bills, or you're wondering if you're going to be well enough the next day, what if we were just able to just settle in and say, oh, wow. Oh, wow. That we don't have to transition. We don't have to die to have a wow experience. Can you hear me? Yeah. Wow. That little baby, Malia, wow. Life is wow. Wow. Ernest Holmes says, we are bound because we are first free. The power that appears to bind us is the only power in the universe that can free us. Wow, what's so great about that is whenever I feel tied up in my stuff, then I tied myself up, but I'm not going to beat myself up with the same spiritual rope that I tied myself up with to begin with. All I have to say is, wow. Wow, I am God. I am God. Wow. Yeah. So in order to transform anything, we have to be willing. And I know that anything, whether it be health, wealth, or anything, I know that the healing comes from the willingness to say yes. To say yes. And I just know that no matter what is placed in front of me, someone said that to me the other day because we were in an argue for your limitations moment, right? They said, well, you know, it's easy for you to say because you didn't get the diagnosis. I said, well, that's why I'm saying it. Because here as practitioners, as people, that as beings that can remember who they are, thank goodness we can remember when we need each other the most. When we stood in that room and Greg and Laura, who we know each other, but we don't know each other, but now we know each other. Because we didn't have any time to figure anything out. We just had time to look at each other in the eyes and say, wow, I see you. I see you. So I'm going to end with a little story that, you know how I tell tales all the time about, no filters. But here, I had told you a story about the love affair I have with someone in this building that was not so loving in the beginning. If you remember, we had this wonderful moment, and I spoke about it, where I said to her on Christmas, I said, I see you. Do you know what I mean by that? And she said, I think so. Well, the story continues with this love affair. The other day, I ran into her again. Sorry, Rita. And she's looking at me like she's never seen me before, right? And I said, I've transformed. They can't even recognize me. You don't even see me anymore. But here's what happened. It was another beautiful moment. She said, where do you come from? And I said, I've been asking myself that question for a lot of years. She said, where do you come from? And then I thought, oh, well, maybe she has some memory stuff. I went, and I said, oh, I'm the one in front. Oh, no, I know that. I know that. But where do you come from? I said, well, the Bay Area. No. I'm thinking, oh, my God, I am from another planet. The Kaua'i residents were right. Here's what happens. So she's looking at me. She's going into the bathroom. She just keeps looking at me. I said, I don't know. I said, but maybe we've always known each other. Try that one, And she goes, very peculiar. There, and then she goes into the bathroom. She looks back at me. It was like one of those moments, very peculiar. Only me, man. Only I can walk in that little breezeway or whatever it's called. So I got something from that, again, from the same person, the lesson. It is peculiar. Life is sometimes very peculiar. And I think on some level, she recognized me, and I recognized her. Either that or we all did go with that ballistic missile that day, and, and we're all trying to figure each other out. So there we go. It's a choice. It's a choice. So when life looks anything but perfect to you, just remember, oh, wow. It makes me want to cry when I say it, but not from sadness. That when I can look at life and every breath that I take, oh, wow. When I can look at you and go, oh, wow. If you could see you from where I'm standing right now, you would be going, oh, wow. So shall we say it together? Oh, wow. One more time, it just feels good. Oh, wow. Very peculiar. And so it is.
Where I live, there are rainbows with life and the laughter of morning and starry nights. Where I live, there are rainbows with flowers full of colors and birds filled with song. I can smile when it's raining and touch the warmth of the sun. I hear children laughing in this place I love. Where I live, there are rainbows with life and the laughter of morning and starry nights. Where I live, there are rainbows with flowers full of color and birds filled with song. I can smile when it's raining and touch the warmth of the sun. I hear children laughing where I live, where I live, where I live. There are rainbows.
Thank you. You want to... We do live with rainbows, don't we?
Okay, so this is our time of giving. And we thank you in advance for the support that you give to Center for Spiritual Living Kauai that allows us to do our work in the world, allows us to all be together in this place and to share. Thank you so much. And just so you know, 10% of what you give us goes out into the world in a tithe to different organizations on Kauai and in different places on the planet. So thank you, thank you, thank you. So in our program, we have a affirmation. Let's just read it together. I freely and joyously give from the abundance and fullness of my overflowing wealth, knowing that gift goes with love as it touches and blesses Center for Spiritual Living Kauai, my life, and the world. And so it is. Mahalo.
I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have.
Indeed, we are so blessed. We are so blessed, and so it is with a very grateful heart. We are so blessed, and so we accept these gifts on behalf of Centers for Spiritual Living Kauai, absolutely knowing that these gifts represent the unique talents and gifts of each and every one of us in this community, knowing that we take these gifts and spread them out into the world as a symbol of our love, our light, our joy, and our willingness to spread that love into the world. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Mahalo.
So it is.
And now we have our.
So this obviously is not working.
We'll share. So let's put it. All right. Hello. Aloha. Uh-oh.
Okay, we got some kitties here, and this is Roxy, a darling, darling girl. And today we were covering Be Kind, and we picked out all the ways to be kind. And she said she wasn't going to smile when she was up here.
So,
It's okay, but we have something to say to you
Yes.
and Malia and Mon.
so we do our blessing on the children, and it's in your program, but you can follow me. You are amazing. You are perfect. You are magnificent, and we love you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you, George.
Remember to what? Be kind. Is that what that says? Wow.
Wow.
We will.
We all need to remember that, to always be kind. So we just wanted to let you know that we have after service, we always have practitioners up here and who are here to know the truth for you. If there's an experience in your life that you would like to know a little truth about, they will come up, you can come up and they will do a spiritual mind treatment with you, which is basically just affirming the truth. We pray the solution, we don't beg, we just pray the solution. So if you're experiencing something you want to know a little bit more truth about, just come up and enjoy that. And I think that, who said they would come up today? Laura's going to come up, and Rob will be up in a moment. And we have some visiting practitioners, Carol and Linda from Canada, and Laura, who will be up here, and who else? And Terry. Oh my God, good. So we have a whole bunch of people up here, so utilize them, all right? And yeah, definitely. So, and then right after service, we have our women's and men's groups. Don't forget that. And we'll just be setting up for that. We'll have a little community over here, and then we'll go into that. Okay, and that's it? Yeah.
Just a little bit about coming up here. In some places they call it the minute miracle, but what we're really saying is that it's a minute. And so what it is that you come up, and it's not really a session. If you want a session, I just wanted to kind of make that clear, because a lot of people aren't clear what to do when they come up. So it's just coming up and just, I need to know something about this, and then they'll immediately go into their prayer treatment, our spiritual mind treatment. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Right.
So shall we? I think we have. Everyone stand, and we're going to close this, or shall we say open it?
Away, away, so much loving in the world. Away, away, so much loving in the world. Living together as one under the golden sun. Living together as one under the golden sun. Blow Makani, cleanse my soul. Blow Makani, cleanse my soul. Away, away, so much loving in the world. Away, away, so much loving in the world. Living together as one under the golden sun. Living together as one under the golden sun. Blow Makani, cleanse my soul. Blow Makani, cleanse my soul. Away, away, so much loving in the world. Away, away, so much loving in the world. Living together as one under the golden sun. Living together as one under the golden sun. Blow Makani, cleanse my soul. Blow Makani, cleanse my soul.
So keeping in this absolute rhythm of life that we are in, this sea, this river of absolute gratitude for each and every one of us here. I just know that I am so grateful for Michelle, who joyously does these wonderful announcements every week, and the Malama team today, which is Stephanie, Ron LeMay, and double duty over there, and Luis as well. And we have our Deborah, thank you so much for that wonderful meditation that you took us in. And that wonderful man back there, Rob, who does this live streaming. And right next to him is Jonathan, who does so many things, but our sound is one of them. Hospitality back there, Ron Stover, and whoever's working. I see George, who's working with the kids, and Janice is there today too, who's our wonderful youth leader, enjoying our family here today. Roseanne's in the bookstore. Stop by, visit her. And we have our wonderful Maria and Luis playing over there for us. So there we go. And the flowers were actually from the beautiful, what is the Pu'uvai Canoe Club yesterday. There we go. So with gratitude in my heart, I just say yes. I just say yes to it all. We leave the land of peculiar, and we go into the world of absolute knowing, absolute certainty that we are right on target. And we cannot be threatened because of who and what we are, and that is good, that is God, that is life unfolding moment to moment to moment, and I just say yes to it. I say yes, we let it go, we let it be, as together we say, and so it is.
Away, away, so much loving in the world. Away, away, so much loving in the world. Living together as one under the golden sun. Living together as one under the golden sun. Blow Makani, soul, flow